objective, after listening to this module, you'll be able to identify the importance of learning to relax. Introduction to Relaxation. The paradox of our time. The following was taken from a letter written by Dr. Bob Moorhead, a former pastor of a Christian church in Seattle. The paradox of our time in history is that we have taller buildings but shorter tempers, wider freeways but narrower viewpoints. We spend more but have less. We buy more but enjoy it less. We have bigger houses but smaller families, more conveniences but less time. We have more degrees but less sense, more knowledge but less judgment, more experts but more problems, more medicine but less wellness. We have multiplied our possessions but reduced our values. We've learned how to make a living but not a life. We've added years to life, not life to years. We've done larger things but not better things. We've cleaned up the air but polluted the soul. We've split the atom but not our prejudice. We write more but learn less. We plan more but accomplish less. We've learned to rush, but not to wait. These are the times of tall men, but short character, steep profits, and shallow relationships. These are the times of more leisure, but less fun, more kinds of food, but less nutrition. These are days of 2 incomes, but more divorce, of fancier houses, but broken homes. It is a time when there is much in the show window, but nothing in the stock room. Do you think it would make a difference in the world if every single person on the planet took time out each day to relax? Would the world be a different place? I don't mean to imply that relaxation techniques are a panacea or a cure-all for all the problems in the world, but learning how to relax our body and mind on a regular and consistent basis can have tremendous benefits. When are you going to learn to relax? Unfortunately, many people simply do not know when they need to relax or how to relax. So now that you have a strong foundational understanding of stress and coping techniques, now let's talk about relaxation techniques. The primary purpose of relaxation techniques is to intercept the stress response at the 4th level, the physiological changes associated with stress. Recommendations. Below are some general recommendations when doing the relaxation techniques. Get enough sleep. I know. Sometimes it's easier said than done. Don't try to use relaxation techniques when you're tired because you'll most likely fall asleep or fight to keep yourself from falling asleep, which will inhibit the effectiveness of the relaxation techniques because you'll expend energy trying to stay awake. If you have a difficult time staying awake when you do the relaxation techniques, that usually means you're not getting enough sleep. It's your body's way of telling you that you need more sleep. Also, it's important to understand that sleep is not the same thing as relaxation, and it does not necessarily mean that you're in a relaxed state. You may or may not be in a relaxed state when you sleep. Have you ever felt exhausted when you woke up in the morning because you had nightmares all night? You can be in a stressed state in your sleep while you're dreaming. Here's a quick story pertaining to getting enough sleep. An older, tired-looking dog wandered into my yard. I could tell from his collar and well-fed belly that he had a home and was well taken care of. He calmly came over to me and I gave him a few pats on his head. He then followed me into my house, slowly walked down the hall, curled up in the corner, and fell asleep. An hour later, he went to the door and I let him out. The next day, he was back, greeted me in my yard, walked inside, resumed his spot in the hall, and again slept for about an hour. This continued off and on for several weeks. Curious, I pinned a note to his collar. I would like to find out who the owner of this wonderful sweet dog is and ask if you are aware that almost every afternoon your dog comes to my house for a nap. The next day he arrived for his nap with a different note pinned to his collar. He lives in a home with 6 children, 2 under the age of 3. He's trying to catch up on his sleep. Can I come with him tomorrow? Minimize sensory reception. Sensory information through the eyes, ears, nose, mouth, and body surface can sometimes compete for attention at the conscious level. By learning to tune out information from these sources, the mind can focus on internal sensations, making the relaxation techniques more effective. So most relaxation techniques are more effective if you close your eyes because 90% of your sensory input is through your vision. It's generally more difficult to concentrate if your eyes are open. And it's important to try to find a quiet, private place to do these relaxation techniques so you're not distracted. But once you get good at doing these techniques and have been doing them for a while, you'll be able to get your body in a relaxed state despite despite noise and distractions around you. Try different techniques. You may have to try several relaxation techniques to find one that works best for you. What works well for one person may not work well for another. Don't give up. Try different techniques until you find what works well for you. But also many times it takes a couple of times until a technique starts working. Be patient. I'm learning how to relax, doctor. I want to relax better and faster and be on the cutting edge of relaxation. Be patient when doing relaxation techniques. Don't force it. It's important to take a passive attitude when doing these techniques. Just be open-minded and let it happen. Use with coping techniques. Relaxation techniques and coping techniques go hand in hand. It's important to incorporate both the coping and relaxation techniques. They work best when done together because they complement and augment each other. The relaxation techniques are not as powerful unless you use them with the coping technique, specifically cognitive restructuring. Taking a couple deep breaths, which is a relaxation technique, and thinking how a situation could be worse, which is a coping technique, is much more effective than just doing one or the other. Key points. Relaxation techniques help intercept the stress response at the 4th level, physiological changes. There are several things you can do to improve the effectiveness of relaxation techniques. And that's it.